Yo, yo, what up, what up, what up? PCPE, Positive Energy, aka Pepe Spliff, aka, aka Regan the Vegan, because I don't want no here today, it's getting closer and closer to high school football season. So, I'm, you know, try to get you some footage from some of these games. We take a look at a couple of McKinley games. McKinley, um, for those who don't know, I'm from Canton, Ohio, home of the Canton McKinley Bulldogs, our high school. I had an issue in this challenge. I'll issue it again. If anybody can find me a team in their state who's number one in basketball, number two in football, see if you and then be top 10 nationally in those same two categories. From Clark County, Ohio, home of the Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame, the greatest high school rivalry, which would be between McKinley and Massillon. So I'm gonna try to get you some of the footage of that game. Clark County football, real big here, high school. You know what I'm saying? Most of the team is one of the better leagues around the state for public schools. Would be the federal league. Only has been in the federal league for probably like the last somewhere in between. Don't get my numbers wrong, but like 10, 15 years. It wasn't always in the federal league. They joined some years back. Federal league as of now consists of Canton Glen Oak, Maslin Jackson, Maslin Perry, uh, Uniontown Lake, uh, North Canton Hoover, Green, Green Bulldogs, and what other team? Perry, Jackson, North Canton, Glen Oak, Kinley, Green, and Lake. Okay, that's the teams. Okay. Um, Maslin is right here, but they're not in the federal league. They're independent. So what I'm gonna do today is read a couple articles about the preseason, what's going on. Kelly got a new coach, so let's read a little bit about the new. I think he's the first African American football coach for McKinley. So they also have a new starting quarterback who's actually the nephew of my younger cousin, father of my. He's basically married to my little cousin, so he's my little cousin. His little nephew transferred from Maslin and is going to McKinley and gonna be the starting quarterback. So we'll read about that. So let me read a little bit. Here we go. McKinley's Marcus Watley looking for a strong start to tenure with the Bulldogs. The Marcus Watley era of football kicks off Friday night inside Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. The 37-year-old coach would be lying if he said it was just another game. Obviously, you want to start your career off at Camp McKinley with the win, Watley said this week as his Bulldogs prep to host Warren Harding. You want the win for the kids because you know how hard they have worked and what they've done and where they come from. Momentum is a huge thing, not only in the game, but in a season. And it's nice to start your season off with a win and get that under your belt. After advancing past the first round of the playoffs for the first time in 6 years and sharing the Federal League title last season, the Bulldogs are capable of another strong season. Eventually, Watley, head coach at St. Vincent St. Mary in 2016 and 2017. We'll talk about St. Vincent St. Mary here in a minute. They opened their season against Massillon. Wants to take eventually Watley wants to take the program to another level, where McKinley is back as a legitimate contender for state title. A former defensive back at the University of Akron, Watley has always specialized on backside of the ball. His vision for the Bulldogs follows closely. Our formula won't change. While it's going to be play great defense, maximize our opportunities, win third down, and make plays. I think we have the chance to make plays on both sides of the ball. Safeties Brian Pinkney and Chambers Stokes Williams are back after being first and second, respectively, in tackles last year for the Bulldogs. Now, if you watch my interview with Coach Boo, I get back number 10. I asked him for a player to look for who will be out there, laying wood, hitting hard. Excuse me, man. Please forgive me. Somebody who's really aggressive at making tackles, and y'all can take that shit if y'all want. I don't do that bullshit. That's for y'all to read it. Somebody who's gonna be out there making aggressive tackles with big hits, bringing. He named off Brian Pinkney, number 10, as a player to look for. So, as you see, he's back after leading tackles last year. As widely described, having a full week to actually prepare for an opponent versus the scrimmages where you just kind of putting stuff together and kids aren't really comfortable. You can now knock out a lot and say we're just focused on these things also offensively and defensively and on special teams. I think it will help us a lot because the kids are still learning the defense and learning how they fit in. Harding has some good athletes and we have some good athletes. It's going to come down to who wants to make plays. Challenge is right there in front of you. Are you going to win your matchup? That's what it's going to come down to. We're going to put you in the place to make plays. You make the play. The game starts to count this week. It's the first step for Watley as a Bulldog. Friday will mean a lot to me personally. He said it will mean a lot to this team. It will hold a special place in my heart knowing this is where I started from when you look back. Now, like I said, it's going to be his first game, first African American head coach for McKinley. So, like I said, I was gonna read a little bit about this. You always want to check on your rivals, especially when they're a good quality, respectful opponent. So we're gonna let's see. Oh, it's a little slower. We're gonna read a little article about Maslin and St. Vincent, St. Mary. For those of you who don't know anything about LeBron James, that would be the high school that he went to. He used to play football, so he played for their team. So let's read this article by Chris Easterling. I'm sorry I didn't give credit to that last article was by Josh Weir. The article was by Josh Weir. I'm going to read this article here by Chris Easterling, and that will be about the Maslin saying yada 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 yada. I don't know why we got here in the dark. I apologize, folks. All right, let's get into this. Veteran quarterbacks set a tone for Maslin and St. Vincent. Few things can create more consternation for football coaches than the thought of going into a new season with a new starting quarterback. Talented or not, there's always the great sense of unknown that surrounds someone who has never been the guy behind center before. Maslin coach Nate Moore and St. Vincent St. Mary coach Bobby Nicole have felt the fear of the unknown before. This year, however, would not be such a time. When the Tigers and Irish meet Friday at Paul Brown Tigers Stadium, they will do so with two of the most experienced quarterbacks in the area. They are also two players who will likely already have taken over the top spot in their respective passing records by the time they are finished playing. For Masling, senior Aiding Longwell is heading into his third season as the starter. For St. Mary, it will be Luke Lindsay going into his fourth year starting. It allows you to kind of be ahead of where you would be if you had a sophomore, Moore said this week. If you had a sophomore or a first year starter, you have to take something slower, especially early until they get their sea legs underneath them. It does provide some comfort, but you still have to go out there and perform and play well. You just can't exist off something you've done in previous years. This is what both Moore and Nicole believe is what stands out, not just about their own quarterbacks, but the quarterbacks they're preparing to face this Friday. While both players came into their first games as starters having talent, they also have the drive to push themselves to become even better as their careers ascended. That is what both Moore and Nicole believe is what stands out about both their quarterbacks. Sorry, I read that one. For Longwell, that's meant growing from sophomore who found himself in first career start against Mentor in 2017 into a player who's now third all-time in virtually every important passing statistic in Maslin history. Not only that, he has also rolled up a pretty impressive record on the field, having helped the Tigers go 24-5 the last two seasons. They've got a kid behind center for 3 years, said Nicole, who is in his second season at St. Vincent St. Mary. He probably, as a sophomore, went from not being a game manager necessarily, but just doing what the offense has asked him to do. Now he's a playmaker. He's a guy who's played in every type of game. He makes every single throw you can possibly get. He's a dynamic threat back there at the quarterback position. Lindsey's career has seen him have a battle through both positional competition and injury, especially early on. However, those internal battles have helped him grow into a quarterback who enters his senior season having already set the school record for passing with 3,928 yards. Moore, the talent and the trust which the Irish coaching staff has had in Lindsay has been evident from the beginning. In week 9 of his freshman year, he started at Maslin going 11 of 27 for 151 yards with a touchdown and an interception. It wasn't the numbers posted or the scoreboard results which favored the Tigers, which convinced Moore on that fact. It was one freshman year. Play one against us. Threw the ball with a freshman quarterback. That says a lot. While Lindsey's passing is something Matthew is more than aware of, there's another part of his game which more believes is less obvious but exists. That would be his ability to run. The career rushing stats for the Irish quarterback aren't eye-popping to say the least. However, the Tigers saw what limit Lindsey was capable of a year ago when he rushed for a team high 56 yards on 15 carries. He's a very good runner, Moore said. Good speed, athletic, and he's a big kid. He hurt us last year running the football. He's always a good thrower, but filling out and gaining strength and becoming more all-around quarterback and being a danger running the ball is just where he's changed the most. Basically, trying to pump up the quarterback, give him his, coach his team up. They're like, hey, this guy, he can do everything. Don't just think he's just back there and can't move. He can move. He will run, as you see. He hurt us a little bit. 15 for 56, that's not really hurting him, but to his point, it's like something that you have to prepare for uh, just the threat of it. When he's running enough, you know what I'm saying, you still got to be like, okay, now he might try to get out of here. Now, he might not kill you, but just giving you something else to think about. That's what that is. So I'm gonna read this one last intro, uh, not intro, article. Excuse me. Let's see where it was. So, like I said, McKinley's starting a new coach. I mean, not starting a new coach. They have a new coach. They're going to be starting a new quarterback. His name is Wesley. When I talked to Coach Boo, he was in competition with another young man. Said both of them was like 4.5, 4.6 quarterbacks, athletic speed. So always that threat. Hopefully we can get him up to speed, passing the ball, make him a true dual threat, and cause some problems. And move along, get in the playoff and see what we can do. Let's start this off. During seven on sevens this summer, new McKinley High School coach Marcus Watley joked with Elijah Wesley that the junior quarterback is going to get him fired one day. Wesley smiled and set out to ease his coach's concern about job security. He threw a touchdown pass and said, "Coach, I don't want you to go nowhere." There's a lot. There's a lot in the hands of Wesley these days. He will start our quarterback, replacing a graduated Elijah Curtis when the Bulldogs open the season Friday night at home against Moor and Hardy. It's cool, Wesley said at a recent practice. It's all I ever wanted. Ever since I was in like fourth grade. Even better, the affable, easygoing Wesley piloting some kind of rebuilding project. He'll be surrounded by all kinds of talent at the skill positions, highlighted by three players, running back Lemire Garrett, and receivers Jalen Ross and Jasper Robinson with Division One college offers. Robinson is committed to Kent State. Wadley wants to establish McKinley, which went 9-3 last year and shared the Federal League title with Hoover, a state title contender again. That he's handing the keys of the office to a kid who's never taken any varsity, that doesn't seem to bother him. Elijah was one of the first kids I met when I got in the weight room, said Wiley, who was hired in April. He introduced himself and smiled. You see the personality in the kid, some of the immaturity too. Since April, he's grown up so much. He's taking on a lot. He's carrying a heavy burden being the quarterback for Kent McKinley. That's a kid that didn't get any game experience on the varsity level last year. All the tangibles from being able to run, throw, he's got them. The 6'2", 180-pound Wesley has a strong arm. Also is one of the fastest Bulldogs, giving McKinley's offense a dynamic it hasn't possessed anyone. Expecting Curse's level production might be asking a lot. A first team All Ohio last year, Curtis owns two of the top four passing yardage seasons in school. He was efficient as he was productive, owning school records for single season and career completion percentages. At the same time, those around the program want to put limits on what Wesley can do with the offensive coordinator Badre Bardwell. Excuse me, I messed that name up. Badre Bardwell. He stepped up. I ain't gonna lie, said Ross, a 6'3", 200 pound for what pound target for Wesley. I seen a lot of improvement. He's always been pretty good, but he's been working hard every day. He's coming into in the mornings with Coach Bardwell. Me and other seniors have a connection with him. Ross said the Bulldog seniors treat Wesley as an equal. Wesley carries himself like he belongs. Ross said the Bulldog seniors. To me, it seems like Ross. To me, he seems like a senior. Ross. He's been taking charge. We look to him, even though he's young. If he makes a bad play or a bad decision, we don't bash him or anything like that. We tap him on the butt and tell him, "Come on, man." Thought former head coach Dan Reardon's son Matthew would take over as quarterback this year. Elder Reardon returned to Ursuline in January and took his son with him. As for Wesley, who came up as a quarterback, he never resigned himself to playing something else because of Reardon. Some people would tell me, "You might as well switch positions right now," Wesley said. "But I'm not going out without fighting. I'm going to fight for this position, pull forward. I just straight go to another position because you never know what can happen. I was never taught to give up because of what you heard. Wally sees a kid who was ready for his opportunity and sees it. Everybody assumed Coach Reardon's son would be the quarterback and Elijah was going to be some guy here. Then you know, you're the guy. To watch him grow up and watch the way he's taking coaching from Coach B, it's a pleasure. He called me Coach B. Everything you want in a quarterback, he has it. He just has to put it all together, and we got to be good around him until he gets comfortable. Look like they got a talented new quarterback. Coach trusted him, and me to see African American head coach at McKinley along with an African American quarterback is something that I've only seen a couple African American quarterbacks. It's only been a handful. Foster, Elijah Curtis, see Cheney, Brian Cheney, but I heard about him. He was probably one of the best quarterbacks McKinley ever heard. But I was in California, so I didn't actually see. But his name preceded itself as probably the best quarterback McKinley ever had. So that's always good to see. They got our community is filled with it's an urban community with a lot of African American students. So you want kids they're growing up in the hood and they ain't gonna look to, they're not gonna look the same way to a white leadership figure as opposed to an African American leadership figure. His words is going to be more receptive because they're going to feel that he's been through, which more likely than that, he can relate to what they're going through and the problems that they're going through. And say that some white coaches can't relate to the black kids, it's more natural and more easier to do that. So I think it's going to be a good move for McKinley. Glad to see that. Long time coming. So yeah, man. Can't wait to Friday. It's your boy PE, Positive Energy. Holla back, man. You know what it is. We want to get some peace around here. We can't have peace till we